Hello there. So, Blind Melon was, and technically still is, an American rock band that formed in 1990 and became popular in the 1990s, particularly for their song No Rain. Their music blended elements of rock, funk, soul, and blues with a focus on melodic songwriting and intricate instrumentation. So, how's about that? The band's self titled debut album, released in 1992, was a commercial success, featuring the hit single No Rain, which is perhaps their most recognizable song to this to this day. To this day. Man, I can't even talk. And I guess I pronounced it like the way that they pronounce the word this, and sweet dreams are made of this. They pronounce it like these. And I was just kind of following the Annie Lennox example, I guess you might say. But anyway, uh, like I said, the song No Rain was their big hit, and it features catchy guitar riffs and the distinctive voice of lead singer Shannon Hoon, who unfortunately passed away in 1995. Blind Melon's music often had a psychedelic and improvisational quality to it. I don't know to what extent they truly did improvise, but it has kind of a free flowing vibe. So there might have been some improv. They're sort of like a jam band without necessarily jamming that much. But I guess they did occasionally have jam sections and you know instrumental solos. But from the songs that I've listened to, they just kind of sound like more straight ahead, songs. I Wonder might be another song that could be said to be reasonably encapsulating their vibe as a band. But of course, No Rain is the big one. No Rain this, No Rain that. That is really where the focus is at. Well, that was a corny little Dr. Seussian rhyme, but they were also known for incorporating elements of folk and country music into their sound, which added to the band's unique style. I guess you could say they were sort of an alternative Americana band, with Americana, defined as contemporary music that incorporates elements of various American roots music styles like country, roots rock, folk, bluegrass, R&B, and blues, and etc. Some other notable Blind Melon songs include Change, Tones of Home, Galaxy, and Soup. And yes, No Rain, of course. And it is a good song. The band released a total of two studio albums before Shannon Hoon's untimely death in 95, but they continued to perform and release music sporadically with different lead singers in the following years. Overall, Blind Melon's music has been praised for its creativity, energy, and emotional depth, and the band remains a beloved part of the 1990s alternative rock scene. It's one of those things from the 90s. Like, did you know that the Cardigans covered Iron Man? That was another thing that happened in the 1990s. Go ahead and check that song out too while you're at it. Um, so anyway, back to Blind Melon after my random Cardigans comment. They weren't frequent, there weren't frequent lineup changes for other members of the band. They only replaced Hoon with Travis Warren and replaced bassist Brad Smith with Nathan Town. I guess they're still active beyond the year 2000, but I've yet to put out an album since their album called My Friends, which was put out in 2008. So, the other albums are a moderate success, but really didn't produce another major hit for them. Their current band members, there's Roger Stevens, lead guitar, Christopher Thorne, rhythm guitar, Glenn Graham drums, Travis Warren on lead vocals and acoustic guitar, and Nathan Town on bass and backing vocals. So, yeah, that's about all I got to say about him. And for more information about me, obviously I have this podcast where I talk about music and pop culture. I'm also an entertainment writer. If you look me up, you can find me. You can find me with certain articles that I've written over the years. I've done interviews with various people involved in the movie and TV show industry, and I sometimes do list articles and stuff like that. You can follow me on Twitter. Just look up my name on there. And yes, I have blocked Elon Musk, but I still have a Twitter account. You can email me at wadewineo@gmail.com if you are so inclined. Just don't send me a crazy, threatening email and we'll be fine. That kind of reminds me that one of my favorite interviews in guitar world was actually of the band Korn of all things, where they talk about a crazed fan who'd apparently showed up wanting the band to sign a raccoon's head, and they actually did it. I mean, in their defense, when somebody shows up with something like that, you have to wonder what would happen if I don't sign this. Obviously I have a cold right now or whatever. That's kind of making me lose my voice a bit. I'm also a musician and writer and a blogger and all that kind of stuff. As far as like my credentials, my academic stuff, I have a bachelor's degree in literature or great books. Even though I, don't have a master's degree in music composition or whatever, I still talk about music. And I actually can say that I graduated from a college that is soon to no longer even exist, Finlandia University. They've recently called it quits. And interestingly enough, in grade school, I went to a school that also no longer exists. That was called Hakenen School in the puny little town of Toivola, Michigan, also known as Misery Bay. And I also DJ at WMTU 91.9 FM Houghton. And hopefully this goddamn cold will be over eventually because, it'd be fun to record episodes without having the sound like this, But anyway, yeah, that's all I got to say, man. You have a holly jolly Christmas.